Let's study the lateral O. It's considered an approximant. Why? Because even though there is a complete closure between the tip and blade of the tongue and the alveolar ridge, the sides of the tongue are lowered and the air escapes laterally on one or both sides of the tongue. That's why we say that in a lateral consonant, the passage of air through the mouth doesn't go in the usual way along the center of the tongue. Instead, there is a complete closure between the tip and blade of the tongue and the alveolar ridge, and because of this closure along the center of the tongue, the only way for the air to escape is along the sides of the tongue. So the sides of the tongue are lowered, and the air goes out laterally through one or both sides of the tongue. In standard Southern British English pronunciation, the phoneme O, which we said is abstract, has two different realizations, or allophonic variants. Clear O is produced with the tip and blade of the tongue articulating with the alveolar ridge, of course, and at the same time the front of the tongue goes in the direction of the hard palate, and that gives the lateral a front vowel resonance. So it resonates like a front vowel. It resonates like the vowel I. And we should remember that this clear is devoiced when it's preceded by aspirated voiceless plosives in stressed syllables. Play, please, apply, clean, close, click. So, the allophone we produce is the clear allophone of the lateral, and besides, we devoice it. Another variant or allophonic variation of the lateral of the phoneme, is the dark O. In the production of this allophone, of course, the tip and blade of the tongue articulate, the tip and blade of the tongue articulate with the alveolar ridge, and at the same time, the front of the tongue is somewhat depressed. We saw in the previous figure for the clear lateral that the front goes in the direction of the hard palate. Well, in this case, for the dark O, it's depressed, and the back of the tongue is raised in the direction of a soft palate, and that gives the lateral the resonance of a back vowel, like O. So we say this is the dark O. Look at the diacritic we use. It's the lateral and we cross it. And of course we use brackets because it's an allophone. The allophones of the lateral, clear O and dark O, occur in complementary distribution because they are conditioned by the environment. What do we mean by that? That we can predict from the context, from the phonetic context, which allophone to produce. Clear O occurs before vowels and before ya. So in leave, lock, late, blow, glad, silly, yellow, color, oily, feel it at word boundary, all over word boundary, will you at word boundary, will produce the clear allophone, which resonates like a front vowel. It's leave, look. And that clear lateral is devoiced after aspirated voiceless plosives in stressed syllables. For example, play, please, apply, clean, close, click. And the dark allophone occurs before consonants and wa. For example, milk, film, else, elbow, although, always, shall we at word boundary before wa. So it's dark. It resonates like a back vowel. It's O. It's not it's O. It's also dark in absolute final position. Absolute final position means before a pause. For example, is that real? Is that real? Or when the lateral is syllabic. And we'll come back to this next class. For example, when you say botto, batto. When you say botto, we see that the plosive is released laterally. And that lateral is dark. Botto, batto.